Let's flip and go. Let's go. How is everyone today? Matt, Mad Mania, coming in hot with a €50 donation right away. Damn. Melky, Mr. Weedy. Thunder, boom, boom. St. Jolene is popping in to say hello. Snow Goose is here. Oh, good to see everyone. Good to see everyone. I'm sorry we did not stream yesterday. There was a lot of dialogue going on surrounding KvK. I am happy to announce that Earth Camp, us and our allies, have defeated Water Camp and Wind Camp in Kingsland for the win. The dialogue, and we'll get into it shortly here, was surrounding who gets the zig at the end. At the end of the day, we had decided before KvK even started, during the pre-KvK conversations, that between Fire and Earth, whoever had the DKP advantage at the end of KvK would get the zig at the end. We'll show you, when we look at stats, exactly how close that was. But Fire did end up edging us out, so, we're not going to screw anyone over. We went through the stats. We'll look at the stats here shortly. But we're getting first occupation. We're getting Chronicle rewards. We're getting 60 Autrix at the end. We're getting all the other KvK rewards that come with it. Sanctuary. We'll get 2 coins. 1 coin for holding 2 high rounds. A second coin for holding 4 high rounds. It is what it is. Am I disappointed? Hell no. Our goal going into this KvK, after having 2 very lackluster KvKs prior to this, our goal as a kingdom was to get good fights. We got some excellent fights. Wind, hats off, much respect to you guys. 1150, 1808, 2484, 3052. It was an absolute pleasure meeting many of you in this KvK, fighting against many of you in this KvK. RPG Ryzen, my apologies for imprisoning you 4 times at the start of Zone 5 so you couldn't random teleport into that zone. It appears you guys learned from that because they gave him King before Kingsland opened, so we could not imprison him, right? It's nothing personal, dude. It is nothing personal at all. Hey, thank you, Marbo. Appreciate it. My hat's off to the Water Camp, 1716, 2815, 2851, 3216. Y'all gave Fire a hell of a fight. A hell of a fight. You actually won Zone 5 from Fire. There was a lot of uptime, downtime fights over on that side of the map. And to our allies in Fire Camp, 11, and I'm trying to see my screen, 1156, 1776, 2516, 3111. Fighting, I know, shit, I'm echoing. Fighting with you guys, being allies in this KvK, couldn't have asked for better allies. We had fun. We dominated Kingsland. Kingsland was pretty much over within what? We started at 15 UTC. It was done by 2 UTC. So that's what, 12 hours, 14 hours, somewhere in there. But yeah, absolutely appreciate it. Hell of a KvK. I have nothing but nice things to say about all the kingdoms in this KvK. Would love to be allies with you guys in the future. And if we don't, can't wait to fight against you guys in the future. I know you're going to give us some great fights. That said, let us look at some statistics here. We'll switch over to the desktop. Like I said, looking at this, right? DKP 50%, 50%. This is Fire and Earth. But when you look at the DKP numbers themselves, 7.8 billion to 7.7 billion. They just barely edged us out for the zig at the end. This is kind of misleading here, right? Well, I had a lot of people from my own kingdom, from other kingdoms within our camp saying, well, what the hell? How did we have 335 million deads and only a 3 billion power loss, and they had 542 million deads and only a 4 billion power loss? The answer is training. Right? You can train a lot of troops in KvK, and this power loss, maybe this was 5-6 billion, but training troops in those 4 kingdoms made this power loss look less. Honestly, I'm just going to be honest here. We looked for some anomalies in the data to say, okay, this shouldn't be counted or that shouldn't be counted. We took a look at player data. We looked for people who had high deads, because a dead is 5 DKP points, right? That's significant. We looked for players not only in Fire Camp, but in Earth Camp too, who we felt may have been trying to manipulate the system, get T1, T2, T3 deads. So we compared the high deads in these reports to the Autric deads that were listed there. We found some anomalies. We talked with Fire Camp, gave them our examples. They provided screenshots of people's deads or explanations for them. At the end of the day, even if the deads that we found suspicious were not counted, they still would have beat us in DKP. Okay, like it, don't like it, whatever. It is what it is. We went into this KvK looking for some solid fights. That's what we got. We had fun, and we're coming out of it victorious. Right? DKP, no DKP. Y'all know that we don't play for stats. But, scrolling down, Fire and Earth did absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. They had the lead in DKP for the longest time. We got real close here before Pass 7 opened, or when Pass 7 opened. When Pass 7 opened, we started gaining, but we just couldn't not overcome the lead that they had. But it is what it is, right? Now let's look at the camp breakdown, the kingdom breakdown in the camp. Looking at the breakdown by kingdom, right? We had 31.8 billion kill points in 1029. The next closest is 23 billion kill points. So that's 8.8 billion kill points ahead of the next closest kingdom. If you look at DKP, we had 3.8 billion DKP. That's 600 million above the next closest kingdom. The ever-eluding 5th star. It doesn't matter. A star is just cosmetic. A star is only cosmetic. So, just looking at these numbers for 1029, I am super proud of the job that our players did. And, exceptional job from our allies, 3122, 3130, 1443. The stats may not reflect it, but they were fantastic for being 3122, 3130, for being newer kingdoms. They brought the fight. They were there. They were filling rallies. They were filling flags. They were helping tremendously, and I could not have asked for better campmates. Stars of recruitment was not. And honestly, Kem, anyone who knows this game is not looking at a kingdom banner for stars. They should be evaluating the kingdom as a whole, not migrating to a kingdom because there are stars on the banner. There's so much shady shit that goes on these days. Stars are not what I feel an experienced player would use to determine if this is a kingdom that they want to go to or not. I wouldn't. I could care less how many stars are on a banner. If I was migrating somewhere, I would want to make sure that that's a culture that fits my personality, that fits my style, that I'm going to vibe with. So, I am super happy with the performance that 1029 did. Super happy. extremely proud of the guys and gals in the kingdom. Okay, let's look at player stats. DKP, who's on the top? Who's on the top? Who's on the top? Pat myself on the back here. And we're in a B seed kingdom, right? 2.2 billion kill points. 7.6 million deads. Absolutely fantastic job by yours truly. I lost so much sleep and was so freaking grumpy all day yesterday. But hey, Coco Boy, let's sort this. Let's sort this just by Earth Camp so we can give some shout outs here. Coco Boy went off. 2.1 billion kill points, 4.7 million deads. Sir Wolfie, as big of a troll as he is at times, you gotta love the man. 2 billion kill points, 1.4 million deads. Echo, new R4 in the kingdom. 1.5 billion kill points. I think this is his first KvK with us, right? We did win, Cat. We're not getting the star, but we did win. Our fighting style screwed us once again. But we'll get into that in a minute. Echo, 1.5 billion kill points, 2.5 million deads. Ani, she's our only Japanese player. 1.2 billion kill points, 1.7 million deads. Gax, free to play. Gax, 1.2 billion kill points. I think he bought the crystal bundle or the daily crystal supply deal. 1 million deads. Shadow of Moon, 1.2 billion kill points. We need to work on her deads. Haza. So here we get to number 8. This is the first non-1029 player in the kingdom's DKP rankings, right? Haza, 882 million. What's up, Alan? What's up, Mr. Naif? 2.6 million deads. JPJ, 6.96. Harlequin, Dark Yami, Mayhem, Bread, Swizz, very low spender, Captain Stinkfus, Choco Guinness. These two guys, the work that they put in organizing KvK, in rallying the troops, in getting everyone together. I don't care about their kill points. I don't care about their deads, although they did fantastic. Right? Don't get me wrong. 3 million deads for Captain, who always hovers right around 90 million power. That's crazy. That's crazy. Testy, Winnie the Pooh, Insane Joker. I mean, we look at the top players. Let's just look at the top 20 players in our camp. We have 18 of the top 20 players. 1029 went to town. Animal right here, 23rd in the camp. 500 million kill points, 1.7, call it 1.8 million deads. Here's Thunder. Okay, 450 million kill points, 2 million deads. We are not scared to take deads. Here's Hubsy. 300 million kill points. He was offline for most of KvK, came on at the end for Kingsland, and he maybe 24 hours of fighting, he freaking swarmed everything. 3.9 million deads. Okay, just the deads alone. Absolutely insane. You know, and I'm not saying our allies did bad. Nuh-uh. We had some of the best allies we've ever had in KvK. They were very, very accommodating, very easy to work with. Insanely good allies. Okay, but once again, we didn't get the star. Fire had 7.8 billion DKP to our 7.7 billion DKP. And this, guys, this is proof right here. Because there were lots of fights that Fire had in that Zone 5. Back and forth, right? That in that first zone. We went into Zone 5. We have never lost a Zone 5 since Cat brought the TSN crew to 1029. Never lost a Zone 5. That record still stands. I'm sorry, Mad. Yes, thank you for the 20. Thank you for the 20. Now stop donating, please. Okay, go spend the money on drinks on your vacation. Buy a round on me now, right? Instead of donating next, call it a round on Lambo. Thank you. So, I mean, since day one streaming, we swarm everything. That has been the motto of 1029. TSN, I call it the Swarm Nation. What's up, Raz? And this is proof here. Sometimes it bites us in the ass. Yeah, I honestly, I don't know if this is, let's just call it 7,501,000,000 DKP that rounds up to 7.8, or if this is, I don't know. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Our goal going into this KvK, after 2 KvKs that were very lackluster, Earth Camp Hum, our goal was to have a fun KvK and fight. We had people, thank you, Run. We had people before this KvK even started telling us they wanted to do a 1 versus 3. There's no way we would have survived a 1 versus 3. But that's how badly they wanted fights. Yeah, I mean, regardless, at the beginning of KvK, we said that DKP would take the star. Oh my goodness. Wow. Snow Goose, man, you don't ever feel pressured, but I thank you very much. Thank you very much. Those of you that are here in the chat, Snow Goose. He's here all the time. He is, between him and Mad Mania, I would go to sleep at night. They'd be on for 8 hours. I'd go to sleep at night. They'd be online. I'd wake up in the morning. They'd be online. Those two single-handedly held down the night shift with a few other players sprinkled in here and there. So those two guys, no matter what their DKP is, and they did well. Snow Goose is always garrisoning. Half the time it's just a deterrent so they don't tap a flag. Those two guys, in my opinion, right? I've gotten MVP the last 2 KvKs. If you're in 1029, do not vote me for MVP. In my opinion, it's Mad Mania, it's Snow Goose, it's Coco Boy, it's Captain Stinkfus, right? Mad and Captain for organizing this whole thing. Coco Boy for going absolutely nuts in KvK. And Snow Goose for staying up all hours of the night to garrison whatever we needed to garrison. What's going on, Alloys? We're not getting the star. 3rd KvK in a row. We get the win, but we don't get the star. It's our fighting style. It is our fighting style. When you swarm everything, and I've said this since day one streaming, when you swarm everything and you are hyper aggressive, you lose less, at least in the seed KvK we plan, you lose less troops than you do if you send rally after rally after rally at a flag. This is proof. This KvK is proof. Okay, I mean let's take some of these off of here. All right, so we want the start, and then we want after pass 4. Wait for it to load. Thank you, Alloys. I don't know why half of this isn't loading. But I mean, you can see right here the huge gap that Fire had with deads just after pass 4. Let me hit reload here. This is not. It's about the black cat. Who's the black cat in the kingdom? And why isn't this loading? Come on, Fleisch. Yeah, I mean, this is zone 5. This is after zone 5 was done. And you know what? You know what? The DKP was so close in the entire KvK. And let's just look at the map again, right? I mean, to Fire's credit, you know, I get it, right? Our swarm everything mentality may have screwed us. But to Fire's credit, after we won Zone 5, okay, after we won Zone 5, they could have very easily kept fighting the water camp in the bottom left-hand corner just to increase their DKP. They could have been 8, 10, 12 billion ahead of us in DKP had they stayed in this zone. To their credit, they understood it's going to do no good to continue fighting in this zone when we already won ours, and they can get the Sanctuary and the Hirons in our shared zone up here. Right? So rather than stay in here fighting just to increase their deaths, their kills, their whatever, they pulled out of this zone. You know, some would say, oh, and some have said to me, 1029 deserves the star because you didn't lose your zone. Did they really lose this zone, though? They could have kept going and going and going, and it would have just handicapped them in Kingsland. And we might not have won. Okay, so, I mean, you know, you can look at it any way you want. You can spin it any way you want. Right? At the end of the day, it's a team effort between Fire and Earth Camp. Fire beat us in DKP. Fire gets the star at the end. It is what it is. It is what it is. Am I disappointed we don't get the moon on the banner? I can't say that I'm not. You know, but I am extremely excited that 1029 outperformed every other kingdom in this KvK. This is our first KvK as a B seed kingdom. And our players went off. Thanks, Avor. You know, and that's just a credit to the leadership team here. The way that Cat, the way that MF, the way that Mavic, Joker, Flipper, Bulgogi started this kingdom. Right? It was always to remain small. Slowly build the kingdom over time, bringing in the right players with the right mindset, with the high game IQ to have what we have today. And there are other kingdoms out there that are modeling how they build their kingdoms after what Cat and the folks from 1369 TSN who came here started to do. We see 2268 now going to a brand new kingdom, saying that they're going to stay small with 50 players, bring in the right people, do interviews. Abu, what's going on? Good to see you. Congrats on the star, buddy. Bring in the right people, do interviews to bring in the right people, right? And I think that's a good move for them. Okay, you can, these days you cannot open the doors to just anyone to try and bring in a shit ton of players. You cannot just look at stats of players. You have to talk to them. You don't know if they just bought the account. Okay, our goal is to stay as we possibly can as a low seed. Madmania has said he has over 60 applications from players, 20 from this KvK alone that want to come here. We can afford to be super selective in who we bring in now. I know of 5 players we got coming in. Okay, 6 players we got coming in that are all high IQ gamers. Once we get our next migration in, I think I will be, honestly, I will probably be 3rd or 4th in kill points in the kingdom. Our plan of our model is to, we're going to skip once, we're going to get some migrants in, and then we're going to go into KvK. The rewards that you get in KvK now, and the number of items that you can get in KvK now, is just increasing and increasing. You get more season. What are these called? Season coins. You get more conquest coins in KvK than you ever did in the past, which gives you the ability to refine and reprocess and transmutate, I forget what it's called, all these KvK weapons quicker. Now we got it. We're skipping one blackout, sorry. Discord message requests 80, in-game messages 34. So that's what, 100. I stepped out of that recruiting responsibility at the right time. Good God. Okay, if we look in-game here, right, at the individual Crusader achievements, or I'm sorry, we're looking at the individual Autric points. Kill points, I'm second. And the top 10, remember, the top 10 here get an Autric inscription regardless of if you win or lose. So I'm second, Coco Boy's third, Sir Wolfie is fourth. If we look at deads, I'm first, Coco Boy is third, JPJ is fifth. If we're looking at healing points, I'm fourth, Coco Boy is fifth. We got Sir Wolfie in sixth, or excuse me, 11th. Yeah, exactly. I will not get any of our players who are in this leaderboard will not get a Autric when they're distributed to the camp, because they're going to get one automatically. Absolutely. So if we get 10 Autric inscriptions, Lambo, Coco Boy, Sir Wolfie, and JPJ already get one. So that means the KvK Autrics can go to 10 other people, right? So it's all good. It's all good. Okay, and just for participating in KvK, players get an Autric fragment. So 3 of them, and you can get an Autric inscription. So yeah, we plan to distribute them. The discussions with Fire Camp yesterday were long and tedious. Myself and the Fire Camp lead went through player after player, looking for anomalies in the data to make sure that we were looking at the right data, to make sure that the kingdom that had the most DKP at the end gets the star. Now, I'll be honest with you guys. 1029 is changing the way that we go into KvKs moving forward. We're going to do things a little differently when we make allies in the beginning, and I'm not saying Fire was bad allies, but understanding that DKP is not the sole determining factor that should win a star at the end. You can only get the fragment if you don't receive an Autric. Yeah, exactly. So players who don't get an Autric can start collecting fragments. But understanding that DKP a lot of times works against us, we're going to change the way that we have discussions when we ally with kingdoms in the future. We're going to ask that we do things a little differently. And what will that mean? I have a blueprint in my mind, a contract of sorts. Maybe a certain points value gets placed on winning your zones, a certain points value gets placed on altar fights, a certain points value gets placed on overall DKP at the end. Okay, and then you go from there. And you have a variety of tiebreakers in between. Because DKP to DKP never works in our favor because we swarm everything. And if we sent rally after rally at flags, we'd have more deads. You take more deads sending 10 rallies at a flag than you do swarming it straight out. Right? And if you're sending rally after rally at a flag, you're not pushing your opponent out of the first zone in 24 hours. So that's but I'm not going to ask our players to change our play style. That's how we have fun. That's super aggressive, dominate everything. I used 267 teleports this KvK. A large number of those were in the first zone. Teleport over here, rally of enemy flag. Okay, another flag is repairing. Teleport, rally an enemy flag. This first zone, I think I had 5 million deads, because that's where you could use the tide to, or that's where you had the reinforcements. There were some crazy rallies where they had 20 million troops in reserve. So yeah, there were a lot of deads in this zone. But it's how we have fun. It's how we have fun. Where the fuck do you get teleports from? They just come in various events, right? I still have 198 of these left. And the only thing I buy the only thing I ever buy in the Alliance shop are blue teleports. So whenever I trade my stuff in, the only thing I get in here are teleports. I don't need any of this other stuff. I mean, more speed ups is always nice, but so that's the breakdown of our KvK. We never did get through. I mean, we held past 7 the entire time. The fire past 7 flipped several times. We pushed our enemies out of Kingsland Never lost pass 8 afterwards. Fire pushed their enemies out of Kingsland, took both passes shortly after we did. Then they lost a pass 8 for a period of time. And you know, if we look at the stats, I don't have them up anymore, do I? Yeah, I do actually. Desktop. Let's look at the stats for our opponents, Water and Wind Camp. If we look at the stats, Fire was fighting, based on the stats, a harder opponent. 53%, 47%. Right? Regardless if one of the kingdoms, I think one of the kingdoms in Water Camp was doing a recovery KvK, or half of their players were doing a recovery K. It's what one of the other Water Camp leaders told me, but I wasn't watching. I don't know if that's true or not true, if they just had players in other kingdoms in Water Camp or what. But based on stats, Fire was fighting a harder opponent. Now, do they have the stats because there was the uptime, downtime fights? Or do they have the stats because they were indeed a harder opponent? That's, you know, I didn't fight Water, so I can't tell you. What's up, Jin? I mean, the one time I did go over to a pass 8 to help Fire a little bit when Water took the pass 8 back for a little bit of time. It was really not a lot of difference between fighting the players from Water that were there and fighting the players from Wind that I was fighting there before. Hey, that's me, number 1 spot. Bada boom, baby. Let's give you the explosion. Oh, we can't give you the explosion because we're not on my main overlay. What's up, Diamonds? So, I mean, all in all, it was a great KvK. I'm not disappointed about anything. We had fun. We got some great fights. Our players got some great kills, great deads. I mean, again, just look at these stats for 1029 compared to the other kingdoms in Earth and Fire. See you later, Ivor. You have a good one. I mean, I'll be honest, guys. When we were paired in a camp with 3122 and 3132, relatively new kingdoms, right? This is Water and Wind, right? None of these other camps have 2 kingdoms in the 3000 range. I got kind of scared. Not gonna lie, but these guys showed up to play. They showed up to play. Scroll down to Kingdom Stats. 2815 is the kingdom that basically sat out. That would make sense. Those stats really don't lie, do they? So yeah, even comparing 1029 stats to the best in Water and Wind, although their DKP might be set a little bit differently. Oh, 521. Nope, we're setting it the same. 20.2 billion kill points. 31.8 billion kill points. 2.6 billion DKP. 3.8 billion DKP. You should only be scared about new kingdoms in a format like Orleans. Yeah, I mean when we look at these kingdoms, right? And now we can bring the boom for Jin. When we look at these 3000 kingdoms, I mean, let's look at honor points, right? If I can actually find them. Good Lord. See, this is how often I actually check honor. Oh, I'm still in 50th. Coalition. Looks like we got a handle on first place. Camp. 16, this goes back to those newer kingdoms, right? They are super, super active. I don't think that I can recall 1029 ever being in camp that gets first in honor points, in coalition and in camp honor points. So that's just an extra bonus, a little bit good rewards, right? Yeah, I mean, you always worry about new kingdoms. You know, are the players experienced? Do they understand the game? Or are they going to play the game like we do? And our allies brought it. They brought it. KvK. They followed instructions. They were asking questions. They were always good questions. They didn't ask the same question twice. You know, this is going to be our circle so that we can get. Where the hell is it all? Conquest rewards, so that we can get our fourth circle and get these rewards. We need a sanctuary to get this coin here. We are getting this coin here, and 4 Hirons at the end. So the agreement in the peace treaty, the surrender with water and with wind, and I confirmed this today, is that we're going to get the sanctuary in this zone. We're going to get the 2 Hirons in this zone. You know, and wind, to their credit, right? I mean, it took an hour for the message to kind of filter down through all of wind camp, filter down through all of earth camp. But when the treaty was brokered, I mean, you know, they wanted free farming and barbing in Zone 6. You know, they have lived up to their end of the bargain. They cleared a path so we could build to this circle. They are going to work with us so that we can get into this zone down here. You know, so that they can start to recover for their next KvK, because they put forth a hell of an effort. You know, and I hope in a future KvK we can ally with some of these guys. These guys did a phenomenal job. So we will get, so my understanding is Fire Camp is going to get this sanctuary up top in the shared zone. We won't need that. We have the sanctuary over here and are getting the second sanctuary down here. So Fire Camp is going to get this sanctuary. My assumption is that they made a deal with Water Camp once fighting stopped. And Fire will get this sanctuary, so they'll get those two. Fire has the 2 Hirons up here, so they're getting a coin for that. Within the deal that they structured with Water Camp, and we agreed to this as well, that whoever held the zig at the end would give up the 2 Hirons in this zone to Water Camp. So Water Camp is going to get a coin in their loss, and they deserve it. They were hard fighters as well, by taking these 2 Hirons. So I think you get a coin for the zig at the end, right? So we're missing out on that. Let's look again. God, I always go to the wrong thing. So we're gonna get 1, 2, 3 more coins. Fire Camp is gonna get a coin for the zig at the end. They're going to get a coin for a second sanctuary, and they're going to get a coin for 2 Hirons. So we're going to get the same number of coins, right? You know, I mean, what are we missing out on? The star? Whoop-de-frickin-do. I don't care about the star on the banner. They're going to get 210 Autric inscriptions. We're going to get 60. But at the end of the day, we had a blast. You know, other than sleep deprivation and it taking my body now probably 2 weeks to get back on a normal sleep schedule. Outstanding. Outstanding. So, you know, yeah. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. We have players that are upset that we didn't get the zig at the end because 1029 had the best stats, but it's all about camp, right? Camp. You cannot do this without your campmates. You know, 3 KvKs in a row now we've won, but not gotten the star. So we just need to kind of customize our pre-KvK arrangement in the future. To not be so heavily dependent upon DKP. Would you rather win a decent... I hate easy KvKs, Run. I hate it. I would much rather lose a hard KvK, a hard-fought KvK, than I would win an easy KvK. Should it be trade the fire camp? And no. I mean, we offered, right? We said, hey, our stats are so close. Our stats are so close. We have this shared zone up here, Sakaka. Why don't we set a time, you know, a 12-hour period of time, a week from now. That'll give us time to each set up territory in a section of Sakaka, you know, maybe right here where there's no flags. And let's have some friendly fights. See who wins. But at the end of the day, I think they're depleted from fighting water camp. I think we're mentally and physically exhausted from fighting wind camp. And you know, after cooler heads prevailed a day later, it's like, yeah, that's a stupid idea. They won DKP. Let's stick with the original agreement. We need to give them the zig at the end. They didn't formally refuse. You know, it was an option we presented to them. If after going through individual player stats, we found enough anomalies to justify Earth potentially getting the zig at the end. But, you know, honestly, I'm not going to sit here for 2-3 days going through screenshot after screenshot of, you know, 5, 10, 20 different players from each camp to try and figure out, did they kill T1s, T2s, T3s? You know, fuck that. You know, time, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So that's our KvK in a nutshell. And you can see, you know, I mean, I think we did the right thing. You know, wind, yeah, when we were talking to them about their surrender, we could have very easily said, no, we're going to keep smashing you. Right? And they could have fought us every single flag all the way to this circle. But I like to treat others like I want to be treated. I think our kingdom has that same philosophy. Fights are done. We won. Fire and Earth won. Fights are over. These guys fought hard. If they did not fight hard, and they came to us and said, hey, we want a free farm and we want a free barb in Zone 6, we'd have been like, nah, bro. It ain't happening. But they fought hard. So yeah, the least we can do is let them farm freely, let them barb freely in Zone 6. And, you know, they have honored, they've deleted all their flags so that we can get where we need to go. Again, they're going to help us get into the bottom zone, and we're going to be getting what we need down here. So I also told them, I said, hey, you know what? Go ahead and grab this past 9 over here. You know, take this past 9 for the first occupation rewards. Hold it through the Chronicle rewards. You guys have been fun to fight, easy to work with. We're gonna get rewards for this past 9 ourselves anyway. Okay, my assumption is Fire's taking this past 9. We're gonna get this past 9 also. So, you know, we're not assholes. We're not assholes. These are kingdoms that we could see in the same camp in a future KvK. We certainly want to let them get back to normal business and start preparing for their next KvK. Snow Goose is a machine. Absolutely. This KvK should have been fire and water against wind and earth. So, you know, Jen, we reached out to Wind Camp, and we reached out to Fire Camp as soon as we found out who was in these camps. Right? Wind Camp ghosted us. They ghosted us. I mean, literally, when Mad Mania would ask them, it was like, we're still trying to decide. We're still trying to decide. We're still trying to decide. We'll get back with you. At the end of the day, we went with Fire Camp because they were actually communicating with us. Trust me, I would have loved to fight against Nugget. That would have made for some great content. Lambo versus Nugget. Both of us are old school players from way back when. Good night, Raz. That would have made for some great, fun, and exciting content. And I can only imagine Lost Kingdom chat if that was taking place. The thing we did not want, and no offense to Water Camp, when we were looking at the stats, you guys looked like you were the strongest camp. Okay, we did not want to kitty corner allies. We did not want to try and fight in 2 zone 5s at the same time. We did that once and it was brutal. One time we were in Earth Camp and we went in and we won this zone. But we literally won this zone in 4 hours. This was before Lilith did your KvK 4, your first season of Conquest experience, is against other kingdoms in your own, range. Right? So that was a KvK where 3 of the 5 kingdoms that were in the Wind Camp, it was their first ever season of Conquest. So, I mean, we literally went in and within 4 hours, they were like, you guys are too much. We're going back to our zone. And then at that point in time, we were able to go into the Sakaka zone and establish territory and push the Fire Camp out at the same time. That was a very unique KvK. What's up, Lord? I do not know 2322. ZL Herman is my best march. If you have ZL expertise, get Herman. Corner allies are not meant to be both sides. I get it. Corner allies, you can potentially block an entire camp from getting to Kingsland, but that would have been detrimental to getting good fights all the way through KvK as well. Right? If we were allied with water and water went into this zone, we went into this zone, and then we both pushed hard at past 7, there's a potential that say Wind never even would have made it to Kingsland. Then it's a 2 versus 1 in Kingsland, and where's the fun there? What's up, Rec? I think we have 4 hum. We got PK, LPK, 29 PK, And I think there's another shell. There's another shell there, I do believe. $3K nuke? I don't know. I mean, if that's true, SC, it might be best just to wait and see what the skills are. ZL pairs with anything. I love ZL Herman. YSG is officially on my bench, except for barb chaining. I'm sorry, YSG. So, I mean, rumors don't always come true, but I mean, if you're in KvK fighting now, and you need a top tier Archer March now, I would do Herman. If you're not in KvK right now and can afford to wait, yeah, Blackout has a point. Maybe wait and see what the skills are. I mean, hopefully we can get enough goldies by the time they're released that we can do both when they come out. I know I will not be pushing Zenith. I checked earlier today, I only got about 1,100 days of speed ups. So that's nowhere near what I would need to compete for Zenith. So it ain't happening this time. No Zenith streams this time. Yeah, and even if you're in KvK, right? It might depend how that KvK is going. If you guys are winning, maybe wait. Gear, yeah, very good point. Gear is also something that you want to consider. Two different skill animations. More graphics on the screen for us, right? More pretty colors. More pretty colors. So, I mean, I've gotten some really nice messages from people in our camp. I've gotten some really nasty messages from people in our camp. Here's one Haza sent out the other day that really brought a tear to my eye. Haza's a player in our kingdom. I don't do this often, but after this KvK, I want to take a quick moment to thank each and every member at 1029. I started the game in 2788, wasn't having too much fun about 2.5 years ago. And then about 8 months ago, Lambo welcomed me with open arms. Even though I only had 495 million kill points with high power, aka dead weight. 3 KvKs later, I am almost 2 billion kill points and wouldn't have been possible without the players in this kingdom, from which I've learned a lot. Special thanks to Choco Guinness, Mad Mania, Solaris 2 for always being responsive and fighting side by side during the off time. Thank you, Coco Boy, Sir Wolfie Hubsy, for helping me get easy kill points by allowing me to fight behind your troops. Looking forward to the off season before the next KvK starts. You know, like I said, guys, our recruitment is not about high power, high kill points. It's about the right attitude. And when I interviewed this person way back when, he had the right attitude. And literally, I have a tear in my eye right now. What does this translate to? Is this a good message or a bad message? It's a shame, of course, that the Star is going to fire because they fought longer and received more kill points. If we had fought against them, the Star would have been ours. But in any case, I respect your decision. Thank you for the hard work. Thank you for the fighting. Your kingdom is overpowered. Your kingdom is still champion of people. Everyone in this KvK will know your kingdom deserves more better than this. Respect for your kingdom, bro. Mad Max, another PK member. The reward is the occupation of the last, and our reward is you. Their reward is the occupation of the last, and our reward is you. We are proud of you, victory or defeat. We are with you in whatever you want. So I mean, check DM. Do I need to check DM? I don't know if I'm scared here. Yeah, not so much gear on that guy, right? Ooh boy. That's kind of rough. That's kind of rough. Yeah, I would maybe wait if you have better gear on your other commanders. What's up, Golden? Thank you for your efforts during the wars, management, etc. It was a fun KvK. In the end, we couldn't get a star, unfortunately, but in general, it was a great one. Much respect. You know, this is from the enemy. Right? In all seriousness, I'm sorry we didn't get you the star. We didn't have any arrangements for feeding you kill points, but losing Zone 5 versus DKP, all you guys did is win. You know, it's all good. 1029 outperformed every other kingdom in this KvK. We're happy with that. After all, we don't care if it's a win or lose. We play for fights and fun. This is a member of Fire Camp. Thank you guys for honoring the agreement for the Zig. Way too many times they've seen things go sideways, and I couldn't agree more. There are too many betrayals in KvK these days. I'm sure you had to deal with members who did not agree with the decision, so I truly thank you for keeping your word. I'll always consider 1029 a friend in the future. And, you know, that's what this game is about. People are going to be happy, not happy that we're not getting the Zig in the end. At the end of the day, it's about building relationships. Don't care if it's win or lose. 2605 said in the latest band. Well, there's a lot of things that 2605 I feel did wrong. They recruited based on stats. That's your first problem. Especially when you have a YouTuber in your kingdom with the number of viewers that Chisgul has. You know, when you recruit based on stats, that's a problem. You really have to understand the individuals and get to know the individuals that want to come to your kingdom to know that they have a high game IQ. You know, when you open the doors so quickly to bring players in and jump from a low seed kingdom to a high seed kingdom, you're not having the opportunity to build your kingdom. And I think that's what makes 1029 different from many of the kingdoms out here. We're not looking to grow by leaps and bounds after every KvK. We want to bring 5, 10, 15 of the right people in with high game IQs so that we can grow slowly. Accounts are being bought and sold every single day now. Stats can be faked. You know, you don't know if 70% of the 10 billion kill points somebody has are by cheeseburgering or by feeding kills. You just don't know these days. You know, you don't know if all of the deads that somebody has are because they're dead weight in a kingdom, and every single kingdom they've been zeroed. Right? So it's very hard without getting to know somebody, understanding their experience, their game IQ, what you're getting. And that's what I think sets us apart from other kingdoms. players leave after every KvK. Absolutely, we got some great players, some very outstanding players leaving after this KvK. Bread, bond me in the live stream chat right here. You know, Bread is leaving after this KvK. Doris is leaving after this KvK, going with Bread. Okay, I mean that's 6 billion kill points. That's 23 million deads on Doris. She's an incredible garrison captain. Whenever we needed a garrison, all we had to do was send her a message. She would jump online. Bread, another fantastic person, fantastic fighter. You know, they're leaving after this KvK. They're going to start their own project and lead their own kingdom. So, you know, if Bread, Doris, if you're watching, if you have any questions at any point in time, I think Saren is going with them, right? You know, another fantastic person, great fighter. Okay, they're going to make their own kingdom, start their own project. You know, they fought hard in this KvK. We're going to give them the passports to leave. If that's what they want to do, and I hope in the future they can build a strong kingdom and we can be allies with them and fight together on the battlefield once again. Yeah, absolutely, Lord. Send it over. I think Sam is looking. This may be his last KvK. He's tired of the game, and I get that. I get that. You know, some of these guys have played, like Sam, you know, really what I've encouraged him to do is get rid of his account. You know, if he just wants to play the game, you know, there's some players that just want to jump on and fight. They don't want to put in that off-season work. You know, become a pilot for some of the higher power players in some of these kingdoms. You know, go have fun piloting in 1960 or piloting in 1093 or 2377. If you still enjoy the game but you don't want to do the daily grind, that may be an option for some people. Bon Me, we're going to miss you, buddy. We're going to miss you, but yeah, you have our full support. So, you know, every KvK, there's some people that leave, there's some people that come in. It's just the nature of the game. I'm about to forge the archer weapon. Are we thinking crit or not? I hope so. My fingers are crossed for you, but, you know. Jiminy crickets. That is right there. That is very nice. Hammer of the Sun and Moon. Crit. Very nice. While your stream gotta get emotional. Making me depressed drunk. Well, Man Mania, alcohol is a depressant to begin with. It's not my fault you're drinking. LC Alex, in my opinion, is much better soup. I would get him to level 60 as quickly as possible. I think my best march this KvK was definitely ZL Herman. Second best was Lucci Alex. And then it is probably a tie between HQ Belly, Nevsky Joan, and Scipio William Wallace. Ooh. Five, 2, 1, 1, Alex. Are you trolling me, Soup? You're fighting with a 5-2-1-1 Alex and a 5-1-1-1 Lucci? Yeah, right. It's only an 11. It's an 89% chance to fail, unless you're red line. Then it's an 89% chance to crit. I mean, if you guys were here for the fighting I was doing in Kingsland, right? I can only field 2 cavalry marches right now. So I was sending out instead of what was I doing? Instead of Justin William as my 7th march. Gorgo Piros is not a super solid march. Okay. But, to get a 7th march on the field, it was either Gorgo Piros or Boudica Artie. Neither of those I would strongly recommend. So, I mean, I was doing some Margaret Gonzalo's, I'm not going to lie. With a 5-5-1-5 Margaret and a, 5-5-1-4 Gonzalo. I know. I didn't even want to look at those run. I mean, I'll be honest. Most of the Gorgo Piros were like 88%. The highest I saw was maybe like 210%. But I mean, I got 7 marches. I got enough troops. I'm just gonna send that shit out there. I might build siege march so I can do markers in my next kingdom during KvK. Yeah, I mean, it's rough. It is rough trying to run 7 marches, fight your ass off, even run 5 marches, fight your ass off, and do markers. And I was getting pissed off at some people because they'd be like, "Oh, there's fighting over here." I'd be like, okay, over here does not tell me exactly where the fighting is taking place. Or, guys, I need help. Okay, where do you need help? Right? It's just hilarious. Or, there are some voices I'm still getting used to on chat, right? So it's like, okay, I'm logging off now. Okay, state your name. State your name, please, and that you're logging off, so we know who's on yet, right? So yeah, I mean, we because all of our leaders are fighting here too, and it's hard. It's hard to keep up on markers. It's hard to keep up on fighting at the same time. What accessories for Ziel? Many people will tell you the ring and the horn. That is probably the standard answer. I absolutely love the dagger, especially for rallies. This guy's got a nice set too. Very nice. Everybody's sending me their screenshots now, huh? Ooh, greatest glory. Nice, all infantry, 3.9% all damage. Very, very good. If it's all you got, I don't know that I'd waste the materials crafting a pennant. What was that dude's name? Spit on that hum. Okay. Is the dagger better than the trumpet in the crowd? That's debatable. That's debatable. If you're primarily open field, you probably want the horn. But I use this setup to rally as well. So, you know, the last thing, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm lazy. I don't want to have to recall a march and change equipment, potentially then having to recall 2 marches, right, and switch a horn over to my ZL just to rally. So if I use and I like ZL Ash better than I like Ash ZL for rallies. It just works better for me. So if I can recall 1 march, not have to change any equipment, not have to change any armaments, and I can throw a rally up there, friggin' awesome. We got a ways to go, though, before we get our last wish list item. We're 6 out of 10 towards the special inscription, which will be the Chorus Master. And we're 52 away from getting to 7 out of 10. Right? We got a ways to go. And KvK is over, so I'm honestly I'm taking a break. I'm taking a break from the going crazy. We're gonna do the daily supply for a while, and that's it. Got plenty of time before the next KvK. There's 16 days here plus 3 days after till we have to go back to Home Kingdom. Then we're gonna do 1 skip and go into the second pop. That's 502 legendary armaments. No, I'm taking a break on that for a while. There you go. You'll see why there. What's your opinion on 222? My ideal Archer March will be 222, but it's going to be the KvK helmet, the KvK weapon, the leadership legs and boots, and then the set piece, gloves, and chest piece. Milky Way, I've seen other people run that with great success. Camel is coming soon. I know. But I've seen people run Milky Way with great success. I believe it's attack, right? When I rally, I switch to an attack skin. So I do like attack over health or defense when rallying, especially when you own the field and you can keep the rally topped off. Milky Way's Archer Attack 12%. Dragon's Breastplate is health. Which should you buy in the KvK shop? If you don't already have it, definitely Twilight Falls. Unless you're an infantry main and are using a ton of smite damage commanders. Twilight Falls, skill damage plus 5%. That was the meta until all these smite damage commanders started coming out. If you're an infantry main, you're running smite damage, possibly St. Peter's Basilica. It costs coins, but Topaki Palace, 5% AP recovery. If you're free to play, you might also consider Persian Dream for the 3% healing speed. I see a lot of people switch back and forth when they're fighting between Twilight Falls and they go to heal their hospital. They flip to Persian Dream. Cavalry player, this is not a bad one either, right? Resource production 15%, cavalry defense 10%. It all depends what you like doing. I would avoid the flight of the heron. I'm free to play. Need tips? What's going on, Forza? So guys, Forza is another content creator. He just hit 1,000 subscribers. He's going to be doing a crazy giveaway. So we had kind of a, Forza sent me some stuff that he got from the LA meet and greet. He sent me 3 hats. He sent me a siege hat, a gathering hat, and a garrison hat. They are in my hat collection now, sitting proudly on the shelf behind me. He also sent me a Sovereign Key keychain. Really nice metal, sexy gold keychain of the Sovereign Key. But yeah, he's doing 1,000 subscribers celebration stream in which he will be giving away other merch that he got from the LA meet and greet. If I'm not mistaken, Flux scripts as well. Right? So yeah, so go over, subscribe to Forza. I dropped a link in here a few minutes ago, a minute and a half ago or so. Make sure you are there when he does his giveaway. You're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be epic. You only checked equipments. Please check armaments. Okay. Oh man, look at those stats. 12.3, 12.4, 13.1. That is sexy. That is sexy. Your cavalry armaments are, they put mine to shame. Hey, thanks, Abu. You have a good one. And once again, congrats to Fire. Appreciate your partnership in this KvK. And we hope to see you in future KvKs. If we're allies, fantastic. If we're enemies, hey, let's have some fun. Juan Scipio, Lucci, Alex, Nevsky, Jones still working on archers. We say Twilight Falls is worth it. You don't have archers yet. Archers benefit the most from that skill damage. You're running all the infantry. Honestly, if those were my 3 marches currently and I needed a city skin in there, I'd probably do St. Peter's Basilica. That's just me, though. Get the opinion of other people. I'm going to rig it so you don't win. Go back on vacation. You tell them, Forza. You tell them. I always unlock Commanders TJ as soon as I can. That $4.99 bundle is incredible. All right, where are we at here? Alan GT, I am a T4 player. Where are you at, Alan? There we go. WO Alan. That's impressive. Just T4s? Well done. Well done. Gave her the wallet. You gave your girlfriend the wallet and she went off. Oh, good Lord. Oh, good Lord, Mad Mania. So, I mean, guys, I did not intend for this to be a long stream. Just wanted to catch up with everybody. Say, thank you for bearing with me over the weekend. I know I did a short Kingsland stream on Saturday, but I was so tired. And then yesterday was absolutely... It was diplomacy left and right. Man Mania ups and picks up his bags and goes on vacation and says, here you go, Lambo. You're Diplo now. If you're a Cav main, you're going to want to get that gear as quickly as possible. And it's hard to be a anything main these days. There are so many good commanders for archers, for infantry, for cavalry. You really want to run the meta. So, again, guys, I really need to get caught up on some sleep here, get back to a normal sleeping routine. So we're going to call it a day. We're going to get you over to Apocalypse Gaming. Forza may throw up a stream later. Be sure and go and subscribe to Forza's channel so that you know when he goes live. But we're going to get you over to Apo. When you get to Apo's channel, please do the Lipstick Gang. And I'm probably going to just kind of chill out on the recliner until reset. Dude, it's like 6:40 p.m. What sleep am I losing? I'm not a young man, Forza. I know you're a young man. I think between past 7 opening on Saturday at 15:38 UTC and Kingsland ending, I had a total of 14 or 15 hours of sleep. Okay, I am up at 4 a.m. for work and to send farms out on 11 accounts. But yeah, I mean, I'm very proud of the job that 1029 did. Outperforming every other kingdom in this KvK. I love you guys. I love you guys. Even my 80-year-old dad. Okay. So do not go to Forza's channel. Do not... No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Does your 80-year-old dad get up at 4 a.m. every day? Does your 80-year-old dad stare at a computer screen for 16 to 18 hours a day? I mean, you guys who do that understand, right? I mean, all of my friends expect me to have a ton of energy. Because, you stare at a computer all day long for your job and then you play your game. Right? It is just as exhausting staring at a computer screen all day long as it is working your ass off on your feet for 8 to 10 hours. It's a different kind of exhausting. So... All right, that I babbled on long enough. See, that's when I get tired, right? That's when I'm tired. I feel like my wife when we're at a party and we're trying to say goodbye to everybody, and she's got to individually have a conversation with everybody on the way out the door, and it takes an hour and a half to leave. So we're going to call it here. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you all. Forza. Oops, wrong button. Forza, thank you again for the 5 gifted. Snow Goose, thank you for the incredible donation earlier. Mad Mania, thank you for the 2 donations. I appreciate you guys more than you'll ever know. Sending you over to Apocalypse now before I start to get teary-eyed again. And you guys have a good one. Keep swarming those flags.